the most stunning, drawn-out candy wrapper solo I've ever heard in my life.
This is my first time at the Conrad.
Yep.
And
I was going to say, before we get started, this is the Conrad Prebys Performing Arts Center in La Jolla.
the Baker Baum Concert Hall.
Yes. It's beautiful. It's wonderfully designed.
It is excellently designed. It has a variety of different public spaces. You have the broad plaza up here. You have an overlooking terrace over the well-stocked snack bar.
Yes, very well said.
I like a classical concert venue that has junior men's. I like
Sure.
them.
Yeah.
I'm in favor.
Yeah.
Just got to get the hot tamales in there too.
And maybe some Mike and Ike's.
Mike and Ike.
Mike and
There you
Ike's,
go.
yes.
This is a major festival.
Yeah.
A major classical music series in the summer.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if can you call it a festival. I mean, it's a series. It's a concert series.
They call it a Summerfest, so it's.
I guess it's
Yeah.
I guess you could
It's a
call it a
festival.
festival. But
Yeah.
I mean, they had the Mahler Fourth in a chamber arrangement.
Yep.
Recently, they're working on a complete Beethoven string quartet cycle. They're having some vocal music. There's going to be some Wagner and Dichterliebe is going to be next week, I think. And I was wanting to go, say when everybody clears out, ask one of the ushers, can I go down and just sing a few things? Because I really want to hear the acoustic and feel it, from a singer's point of view.
Yeah.
To hear a string quartet in this hall is perhaps not misleading, but I still don't have a full sense of what the hall can do. It's a 500-seat hall with a small balcony. It doesn't have the height of a Wigmore hall. It doesn't have the materials or the dimensions for wet reverberation, but it is very resonant, pleasantly resonant.
Yeah.
You can hear the instruments themselves ringing, and that provides perhaps the best substitute for a wet acoustic that you can really get. I mean,
it may be a little truer.
Yeah, very true. I mean, it's an excellent acoustic. So I'm really looking forward to hearing a greater variety of musical combinations in this hall.
Yeah. And so tonight we had the Miro Quartet, and Miro is a Spanish artist, in case you're wondering where the name came from. Accent on the O, so it's Miro. And they played 3 Beethoven quartets. And
so we had an early, late, and middle.
Yes, so the progression in the program was an early, a late, intermission, and a middle. And an encore.
And an encore, which was the Cavatina from Opus 130.
130, yeah.
Which has the curious vocal marking verklempt, which means all choked up, all overwrought.
Yeah.
And
for the violin.
How do you interpret the singer's emotion of not being able to sing correctly on a violin? That's a very interesting stage direction for the instrumentalist.
Has that ever happened to you? It's happened to me now and then, and you have to push it down.
Yes.
You have to push it down.
It happens, periodically at funerals and weddings. I mean, occasions of great emotion like that.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's ever happened to me in the course of an opera per se. Maybe occasionally with like in Act 2, Scene 2 of Aida, and I'm singing in the chorus, and I just, it's just overwhelming.
Yeah.
I suppose so. Maybe long ago.
So anyway, you might wonder if a concert of all Beethoven is recommendable. But here's the point. Here's the thing. None of us is an individual. There's an idea, a concept that we're not individuals. We are a vast community of individuals stretched over time. And so who Beethoven was when he first came to Vienna, he's studying with Haydn. He's sent off to another teacher by Haydn to study counterpoint for 2 years every day. Is not the same person who composes the Opus 135 string quartet, which is this final completed piece of music.
Right.
It's not the same composer. It's the same signature.
No, he's doing vastly different things. His idea of thematic rhetoric is ever changing. I mean, it's strictly classical in the first one. it's beginning to become challengingly fragmented in the Razumovsky, and it's downright disparate in places in the 135.
Yep.
It's an enormous shift across time in the mindset of how do I hold this thing together? How do I thrust out these parts of these elements of motive? And how do I combine them? And do I have to combine them? Can I just let them sometimes hang out there on their own while somebody does something else? It's remarkable.
Yeah, I would say the middle two movements of the Opus 135, I heard echoes of the Ninth Symphony.
Well,
in tone and color, and I also heard one of the most astounding.
This was in which one did you say?
The 135.
Well, in the slow movement of the 135, I actually heard thematic elements of the Sixth Symphony.
The six, you heard six.
I heard
okay.
six. I can give you the 565. That's in there, and again, they were saying, this Beethoven was out walking in the fields, and his daily composition pattern had become very fragmented, and he was finding peace at a very difficult time when his nephew had attempted suicide, and his beloved nephew, and I find it interesting that I heard the pastoral in there.
Interesting. What else I heard in that movement? The most stunning, drawn-out candy wrapper solo I've ever heard in my life.
He deserved a bow.
I was hoping, I was hoping he would go up on stage and bow with the quartet because it was a quintet for the first 30 seconds.
It was. I didn't know Beethoven wrote a string quintet,
with Candy Wrapper.
With Candy Wrapper. But it's funny that you say that, because I kept, on two different occasions, I kept having PDQ Bach moments of in the first, I think of the first movement. There's the lead violin has and it's Fledermaus. And I just wanted him to take off in it. It's the Unbegun Symphony by PDQ Bach, or by Peter Schickli, and the other one was in the Razumovsky, from the middle period. I kept hearing something that seemed to want to. Well, for one thing, the Pachelbel canon is chord changes in there. But there's a moment where the cello just wants to go off into La Cucaracha. Then I want to go. So I mean, I'm sorry, but I wondered, did Johann Strauss? He probably knew this quartet. He turned it into a waltz.
Could be.
He's like, I can keep going with that.
Let's talk about the Miro just a little bit. It's fantastic.
Well, wonderful virtuosity. If I have one criticism, and it's balanced by the virtue that accompanies it, they play so athletically and with such vigor that every now and again a little intonation creeps in. Here and there around the edges, but it's not such as to take away from the quality of the musicianship, but only to, it's determined
by... It's the price you pay.
It's the price you pay for that degree of physical involvement in the music.
And you hear it. I suspected maybe something.
I'm talking about like maybe three individual places across an entire evening.
Yeah.
I noticed a shift in the cello at one point. He was just a little bit flat and moved up, and there was, it's negligible. It was like literally between one half note and another. Okay, well, but the reason I could hear it is because this hall is so intimate.
It's true.
It's for for a 500 seat hall. This is an intimate hall because it's got about 100 seats in the balcony, and so that's a fifth of the hall closer on the floor.
Right.
So. That's all. But they're absolutely stunning players, and
well, you wanted to know if they solo.
Well, but the reason I asked this is I somehow didn't suspect that they did. They could, but what there's a difference, I think, between when you listen to Heifetz and Piatigorsky and Rubinstein playing, piano trios, or when you hear a group of dedicated, these are all like major virtuosic soloists.
Right.
There's just a little bit of difference between that and when you hear players who are dedicated to ensemble playing and expert at it.
Right.
Expert at it. Not that there's perhaps a bit more stolid substance in the Heifetz experience, but there's a more athletic vigor and dramatic intensity in a truly ensemble quartet.
Yes,
that's my point.
They've spent the time together.
This is all they do.
Yeah.
And by golly, it shows.
Yeah.
It really does. That was
so
just
good.
tremendous.
It's so good. Yeah. Well, we're gonna go say hi. They're behind us. I think. Yeah, they are. We're gonna go get a picture. All right. And Class Rebellion. Be the hero and subscribe.
Subscribe. Press the subscribe button.
We're doing a subscriber campaign.
That's right. We got to get this thing going.
Let's go.
There's just too much to talk about.
Let's get it going, folks.
Be the hero.